Iko Nini.
Iko Nini.
Episode 199. Tukisema like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Sindio?
Yes.
Alafu leo tuko na mtu I need introduction ikikam to the Kenyan media space.
Yeah.
Lakini mi na yeye pia tuliwork pamoja.
Yeah, we were in the trenches.
Yes. At Nation Media Group. This was kitambo, sindio?
Oh, it's been years. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
For people that were born then that are doing long division now, so
Yeah. It's been long. it's been long. You left Nation Media when?
2000. Okay, I left Nation FM 2015.
No, okay.
But then I stayed on doing the trend, and then I left at the end of 2017.
Yeah. Cause pia mimi nilitokaga huko ilikuwa I left in 2015 pia.
Yeah.
Pia mimi nilitokaga 2015. You remember when there was that mass layoff?
See, that's what swept us out of radio.
Yeah. And the problem with mine is I saw it coming. Sijui kama yako liona ikikuja. Mi yangu nilionea 90 kilometers per hour in increased speed.
We kind of saw it because I don't know if I can say this, but our boss was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So
He was.
So the fununu zilikuwa, like you'd have to be dumb ama unajifunga macho. Yeah, so
because unakumbuka kuna time, I don't know if you remember this day, but there's a day on Facebook you posted about toxic bosses.
Yeah.
Alafu ni hapo nikamtag. Sijui na kama nilitag tu kwa comments.
Ulikonga mse chaotic, eh? Let me tell you something, Mwaf.
Yeah.
I think you need to start giving a fuck.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Because you're fuckless. Like, let me tell you, Mwafrika is not someone to tell some. Like, hey, lakini simtag. Mwafrika was like, Iko Nini. I'm tagging him now.
Yeah, I tagged him because, like, I've worked with a lot of bosses that I didn't like, but this was one of the guys.
He was awful.
Who I felt like he was super unprofessional. He was alafu alikuwa condescending. Alafu more than that hakuwa amewekwa media. Na I think, I don't know if you feel the same, but mo feel ni kama kila mtu ajaiwa kwa media think it's very simple. I'll just
people think we do this for fun. Like it's a fun thing. It's like wanaonanga ni hobby. It's like the same thing people think about like rap or acting. So when you're in media, like you're on radio especially, wanadhaningia tini tu kusit in front of a mic na kuropokwa. So then when you start running an organization with the media, or if someone puts you behind a mic, sasa unaanza kuona it's actually a lot of work. Even though it's finding your own voice as a presenter, you have to prepare ndio usiende onea ukaimjinga. You have to have all your facts in order. But then our boss just thought we're all just a bunch of kids playing. And he paid us accordingly.
Mingi niuliza niko nafikiri ulikuwa kwa tax bracket mzuri. Ulikuwa kwa why is suffering coming?
My salary could have been paid in a single M-Pesa transaction.
Yeah.
And those days when the maximum was 70K.
What?
Can you remember? So
Yeah.
there's a time they doubled it. Like before you could only send 70,000 in one M-Pesa. Yeah.
What?
I was making nothing, bro.
Mi nilikuwa nafikiria cause at least yangu we needed 2 M-Pesa transaction.
I mean, ilihitaji one. And then I went asking him for a raise. I was laughed at.
Yeah.
He laughed at me.
I think that's why. Because I think that's why he wanted to get rid of my ass. But he laughed at you literally, Amazi.
Like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Ha. Nilichekelewanga tu cha ukweli.
Yeah, because mimi ile siku sasa ile like I lost my ish. I think I even told him I lost my ish was there's a day that we went to see him after a show. Bro. And he was eating alikuwa anakula ice cream and then passed it to like my colleague. And to me that was super unprofessional. First of all, no
like
one wants to
give
share
him, wait, was it like ice cream out of a cup?
Yeah, out of a cup.
So now he wants me to put whatever that was in his mouth in
yeah.
Bro, I don't know you well enough. So take me to dinner first before you start swapping spit.
Yeah. So hiyo siku nilimwangalia nikajua tu hapa huu ni msha hatuwezi sikizana na yeye.
alikuwa mtiaji sana.
Alikuwa mtiaji alafu akadisappear tu siku hizi simuoni and then
no hakudisappear sasa. Now I don't want to give it away, nitakushow after this. But I'll tell you exactly why he's disappeared. Haja disappear like, but I'm just saying that if you saw him you didn't recognize him. He's different.
Oh, okay. That's good. I hope he's different from suffering Nini.
I don't want to wish anyone ill. But if I could wish him a small diarrhea. He should heal, not lethal diarrhea.
Just enough to make him embarrass himself. Huh?
Yeah. No, I don't want him to shit himself in public.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I do. But just yani kuendesha like that keeps you out of commission for a week. That one.
Okay.
Where you step one foot outside of the dome, tumbo yako inakuanzia. That's what I wish for him. Nothing bad. I want your bank account to prosper. But just have diarrhea and think of me. Thanks.
Okay. That's good. Nini. Alafu pia like another thing ile nikifikiria juu ya Facebook account yako ni kuna time ulikuwa na post a lot. I think nowadays umechill kiasi. Facebook.
I don't know. I think because of where I worked previously, like my previous employer, they were very tough about your social media presence. Juu hata Twitter ni achanga kupost venye nilikuwa na post huko kitambo.
Yeah.
So I had to be very careful. Alafu pia, it's not an organizational thing as such. Is ni kama first kwa organization yenye iko strict sana. Alafu the people who are your supervisors are not at great people. I've had such shitty luck with bosses.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've had a couple of good ones even within my past organization, but my last one wasn't great, so ilibidi tu ni take a step back. Yeah.
Me nilikuwa nafikiri everything was rosy. It's just the paycheck that was rosy. Because the paycheck must have been good. More than an M-Pesa transaction.
Yeah, it was more than an M-Pesa transaction. Let's just say that. No. To be fair, my the last 5 years at the BIB were really good. I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people. I worked with a lot of fantastic people. I worked under a lot of great people as well. It's just that maybe the last year or so.
Yeah.
And then of course because they prepared us that certain things were coming. So walikuwa sha to show. Si kama venye huku local media. Unachapa job a whole day alafu 4:45 unaambia kuja hapa HR kidogo alafu unapatiwa barua. So they've milked you even your last day of work. Wezi kusho lunch time uende home udoze. Wanataka ufanye job mpaka 5 p.m. to the last drop. So at least in this situation you were prepared. We're given months to prepare. Unaanza kujipanga. They've just told you that in a few months this is what is going to happen. So wewe it's up to you sasa would decide nitajisotaje moving forward. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, it was, I'm not going to lie, BBC was a great experience. I have walked out of the BBC a better journalist than I was when I walked in.
Ana head of office za BBC waga because mujua BBC iko Nairobi. By head of namaanisha saa ya hapa Nairobi.
Hapa tu Nairobi.
Wapi?
I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, okay, because I've never seen it.
No, that's by design, and I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'll tell you, nitakwambia kitoka off air.
Because next mimi niko expect kukaa ile London, ile na BBC ama hata CNN Atlanta.
Broadcasting house no, but it's big. It's a very big bureau.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alafu talking of getting that media letter, because I've gotten it now twice.
Where?
Royal Media na Nation Media Group. Ya Royal Media pia nilienda to just did my show then around lunchtime. Show yangu ikuonyesha lunchtime. Kesho usitoke.
Wow.
I did it. Nengamwa kesho usitoke. And then sikuwa na expect because like I used to think my show like out of hizo show zote my show like was one of the most popular.
But it was.
Niliamba tu kesho usikuje. So
ulipatiangwa reason?
Ilikuwa tu they're taking a different direction. So the different direction was even the name. They changed the name from YFM to Hot 96.
But still.
Ilikuwa hivyo. That was it. And so mpata barua ngapi hiyo tu ya Nation before ya BBC ni ya Nation peke yake?
Yeah, before ya BBC ni ya Nation peke, but still being retrenched twice unaanza kujuliza bana, what is this? Because most people it never happens to them at all, but then when it happens to you one time, then it happens to you a second time, you're like what? Yeah, unaanza kushindwa ni mchawi mgani, like do I need to make a phone call, do I need to send an M-Pesa, like please leave me alone. Yeah.
Mchawi kutoka
So kusema, oh, by the way, there's a friend of mine, her name is Ecstatic. You might know someone is clowning her about, you know how she's from Nyaribari Chache, although zake ni Nyaribari mingi si Chache. So ni wacha kutoka kwa kina Ecstatic, babe, please tell them to leave me alone.
Alafu so Ecstatic is like one of the best. She was here to jazz sana.
And indimpoa sana.
So nini tena nilikuwa nimekumbuka juu ya hizi stories za jobs cause na quitting, have you ever quit? Because me I quit once and I regretted.
No, I quit but I did not regret it at all. Yeah.
Wali quit wapi?
I'll tell you off air.
Zako mingi sana ni off air. Hii ni Iko Nini. You know the podcast space atuficha.
Wacha nikushow. You see the thing is industry yetu inakuanga ndogo sana.
Okay.
So it is in your best interest not to burn bridges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me like I think nishazi ban design siwezi rudi.
I don't think you have bridges.
I keep saying
because you burn them.
Yeah, I burnt them and alafu ni zile
footpath hana corridors.
Ni zile za staki kurudi. So watu wa podcast mkini help I'm in trouble. Mkini help I'm in trouble.
No, you know you already established in this space. Still,
I know.
We're still trying to birth a little baby.
Yeah,
so
I know. I understand.
Give me 2 years. Nezonga venye nataka.
We call you back.
After 2 years tutakukolu nini.
Yeah, like it's a,
so kwa nini hauku regret? Because before to answer I can tell people like my reasoning with quitting jobs.
Yeah, you tell me first and then I can tell you.
My reasoning with quitting jobs is I always tell people if you leave your house in the morning and you're not planning to quit, don't go back after you've quit in the evening. It means you'd not thought about it. So sometimes something might happen in the office that pisses you off
like,
and you decide fuck it, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
That's you're going to regret.
That's not very smart.
But if you've been thinking about it for a long time, pako umejua my finances, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going, basi quit. Lakini usiquit juu maybe umeenda boss akaongea vibaya ama ukamwagiwa chai kwa shati na you felt disrespected. I always feel like life is not that fair because it means like if you quit na uko umedecide kuquit unafikiria life ni fair. So that's my philosophy.
I completely agree. Where I quit, it had gotten to the point where ukirauka early in the morning unaanza kufeel anxiety. Unaanza kufilia sense yani unachukia hata hiyo building. Hata on the weekend ukipita hiyo design hiyo area unaanza tu kufeel vivi. Nikaona hapana, here nitachizi. That's when I understood. Ushaona wale watu ati wanatembea by the side of the road wanaanza kujiongelesha including with actions. Karibu. I was this close. Nikaona hapana, this is not right. And then by then I don't moved out of home. Kwa tu kwa keja, my parents. Kwa tu nyumbani. So nikaona what am I losing? The only thing I'm losing here is my sanity. So I just walked in and very quietly I handed in my resignation. Alafu those same people were like, nah, you can't leave us. I was like, watch me. I almost moonwalked like Michael Jackson out like bitches.
Plus I'm guessing the money was not worth it. It was worth it.
It wasn't.
Okay.
So unachapa yo maths unaona pana. It's costing me financially, inani cost pia kwa mental health yangu. Sasa you're like, nah fam, this isn't working for me.
And if the money is worth it, would you take a lot of bullshit?
Now, it's not for taking bullshit.
No, like I'm asking now a hypothetical situation.
Hypothetically, what I do is, if the money is worth it, if it's good money. So you've seen what you're saying, ati unaanza kujisort financially.
Yeah.
So, like now this is July, I give myself till December.
Oh, yeah.
So in those few months, naanza kusave, alafu pia naanza kuapply huko kwingine. Ama hata kama hata si kuapply, I start setting up my own thing on the side. That's how to make that money that's worth it work for you. Other than kutoka tu ati because when you umesema tumegiwa chai kwa shati unasema fuck you. Chai, me I can go and wash it in the toilet and I come back.
Yeah, because because you to happen because you quit and then the bills are there like we quit
The bills don't quit.
It's not like Zuku will tell you, hi.
Until you know you
We
quit your job.
understand.
Yeah.
We'll check in after 3 months.
Yeah.
So kuna kwaga so it's one of the things that I feel like I always when nikiongea mubonga na the 20-year-olds the people in their 20s because that's the time when you are very irrational and you have this idealistic view of the world where if someone pisses you off or disrespects you, you're supposed to quit. You have to have principles. Now life will beat you down more
It will
than
humble you,
any disrespect.
But I will say this, because I'm working more and more with wasewa Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I hear now millennials talking about Gen Z the way the older generation is talk about millennials. Unakumbuka venye watu walikuwa nasema ati millennials wanakuanga entitled, wanakuanga lazy, wataki kuchoka. You know all those things that were said about us. But now I will say this. Gen Z, that thing for someone will quit a job and then you ask, Allah, why did you quit? Then they'll be like, it wasn't giving. Giving what? It just wasn't giving.
Yeah.
But then one thing that Gen Z will do, they'll change how people are treated in the workplace. Because one thing Gen Z are not afraid of is taking risks. So ukiongolesha huyo mtoto vibaya, atakuacha na hiyo kazi yako. And they will go.
And they'll survive somehow.
And they'll find a way to survive. They'll go and create content. They'll start selling. They'll go to Gikomba and buy clothes and sell them. They're not afraid of being uncomfortable. And that's what I like about that generation. So sisi venye tulikuwa tu tunavumilia. Mtu anakuongelesha. Like you walk into the office, someone is treating you like absolute shit. Miaka nenda miaka rudi ndio wewe huyo naingia kwa hiyo ofisi. Ati kuvumilia. Gen Z haone hiyo nonsense ya kuvumilia. And I respect them.
Umesikia hii design because of them being that way and the fact that they recognize like opportunities and wanaitumia 100%. Umesikia kume media stations hizi zimefika where they don't want even the presenters to have social media accounts. Umesikia hiyo?
What? No?
Because ati watu wanaingia, they become big and then they quit. Especially
you become bigger than the station.
Yeah, especially that the vernacular stations. Hizo ati right now wako rada
wait, because kwanza wasewa now me I don't know about our vernacular stations. Jumi ni Msapere, so me I can only talk about Kikuyu stations. There are people who are bigger than the station.
Sunona hizo wako rada.
There are people who left radio and went and became MPs and MCs. That's how big you are. No, the Jalango is the exception to the rule everywhere. In Kikuyu land, it's the rule. Unatoka radio unaenda kwa MCA.
The Wamoshombas and
Sabina Chege,
yes. And then what was this other guy called Njogu and
Njoroge?
This
in politics now.
Niliambiwa nataka kuingia politics.
Even there's this other lady who alisemaga kwani iko nene. Ni wa Mshomba ama? Yaitwa nani? Mshomba. Gathoni.
Ni wa Mshomba.
Si alikuwa
alikuwa Kameme.
Sikuna hii nini?
Wait, so unaniambia if I want to work in a vernacular radio station, I have to shut down my social media?
That's if you have a very small social media, they want you to now use theirs, not your own. Because
so siwezi enda kwa Twitter yangu ama Instagram yangu ama Facebook yangu ni post clip.
Even with a station. Because you'll outgrow them. Na hataki inini. Because mna quit. Si shida yenu ni hiyo. Mnaenda mnajitengenezea unaona hii inaniletea 40k, hii inaniletea 200. Unasema hii wacha hii 40k iende, wacha let me build on this 200 and that's what they don't want.
But people will find out who you are in one way or the other. Because najua like working in vernacular stations utaitwa tu MC mahali because of the voice.
Hawezi kukuficha
tu crusade fulani.
Utapatikana tu like it makes no sense. Alafu pia the vernacular stations like what you said wako very big na kufanya ma road shows kwanza huko mashinani. You know. So sasa unataka uende huko uvae mask money heist ndio usionekane.
It's dumb.
I don't know how they expect to nini, but inakuonyesha how scary social media inaonyesha. Because I don't know if you had, I don't know how true this story is, but ulisikiaga vile Mungai Eve started her channel like a few months later after she'd reached 100,000 subscribers. That month she made like 1.5M. Ati alipigiwa na station fulani and they offered to buy her off and she refused.
to buy the channel.
Yeah. They were ready, I think, to give her 10 million shillings.
10 million is not enough for a channel that has passed 100k subscribers.
So walikuwa nataka
Give me
hivyo.
give me $1 million, then maybe.
Yeah. Alafu pia kikupatia million, I don't think people are there because of the channel. People are there because
of me.
Yeah.
So wezi nunua intellectual property yangu. Alafu uende weke nyagozie. People are there because of Ciru. Zi. So ujinga.
Nasikia olina nukisikia hizo figures and she is in her early 20s na sisi vile tulipitia maisha
now you figure out
even now I'm still trying to figure out my life bro.
Alafu sisi watu wa traditional media, when you hear that you're like what,
sikuwa tunafanya nini? We should have become early adapters, imagine. Lakini pia the problem with venye sisi tulikuwa indoctrinated kwa hiyo traditional media, one of the ways that they kept us in line was through fear. So you start thinking you're not good enough. You know, how often were we told at Nation that you're good at your job? How often did we hear that?
Hakukuwa na hiyo.
You
need to do this. The numbers are not good.
And someone the person that's telling you such things has never sat in front of a mic in his life. So someone anakuja kwa condescending, and now the thing that's washing you na kusinya, you know that mwenye anakongelesha hivyo hajui chenye anasema.
And they have it all figured out. Because they're good with numbers.
But the thing about Gen Z is that they have such confidence. They're like, we need to do this thing. So now nata ukienda TikTok, kuna demo ya sasa she's doing mad numbers and all she's doing is cooking for her man. That's it. Ujamuona? Anaitwa Sue. Ebu wangalia hapa.
Okay.
Wangalia.
Because me I think najua tu Njoki Muriuki.
Let me show you this chick. Mpaka there was a day she made cow hooves. Sijui cow legs for her husband. And wanaishi apartment ndogo. Naona even a cow head. Anaichoma huko nje na jiko on the balcony. So then me was showing my person, even my person was telling me, na ivekimu find kichwa ya mbuzi kwa tray. Hata dhani ni uchawi.
Hata ni uchawi.
Unatembea.
What are you trying to do?
But
Sue, S-U-E-H. I put sorry, I don't know how to join TikTok yet without putting sound. I'm old.
I think they've brought that button where they tell you you can mute.
I keep ignoring it, and then now I ignored it a few times, and then they stopped bringing it to me. They're like, this bitch wants to keep being loud. Okay then.
This one.
Ako kadem. My husband. You know that voice for TikTok? Like, watch me cook for my husband.
Haonyeshi sura
yuko
sura, lakini for the man we don't see
naicheki. Alafu anatumia jiko. She's old school like that.
And look at how many followers this babe has.
Nacheki jo.
Ako na mafollowers wangapi?
211,000.
We?
Okay.
And
5.9
early
million
this
likes.
year I think she was like at maybe 20 something k. Yeah.
But unafikiria because mi ningeisoma Ciru niko na simu ni Susan. It's not Ciru, it's Sue.
She's called Sue, and her last name is Owino, I think.
It's Sue Owino.
Okay. But do you think like she's popular because she's an old school woman?
The thing about TikTok that I've noticed is the content creators on TikTok, when you're on a pull number sana, ni wanaishi tu kienyeji, you know. You don't have to have a tisimu ya nguvu, you know. You just have to pull up your phone. Like there are a lot of people at Ushago, you're seeing someone is walking through maize, through the napier grass, you know, inside the napier grass, and you're just talking
mahutini
in the mahutini. That is the content that's such the biggest difference between content on Instagram na content ya TikTok. Do content ya Instagram, it has to be fancy, have to be in Lamu street doing what with a full face of makeup. TikTok hakuna. Nimevaa headscarf na ninachapa story ama ninapika ugali ama, so that authenticity is what people are drawn to.
Okay.
So I think TikTok is the platform for authenticity. Lakini ukienda kwa hizo comments ya dem, once now utaona ati a young Kenyan man mi nimekuja hapa kwako na feminism yangu pole.
Sina shida na hiyo. We've had guests wameitwa feminazis, so
I've been called everything new. Except a child of God, I swear, on Akothe's internet. Anyway, so what was I saying? The young men that go into her comments at you see, this is what we've lost in tradition. Ati madem hawafanyangi hivi. And so I want to ask them, have you seen this girl going to work? That girl ametunza vizuri sana. The food that girl is cooking has been brought by that dude. It's not that she went outside to hunt for a goat with a spear. She, that girl stays at home. And so these men that want us to do, he wants me to go outside to roast a goat here, Donajiko. We left the house at the same time in the morning. And we entered the house the same time in the evening. Lafu unataka kulala kwa couch, mimi nitoke na kichwa ya mbuzi na jiko hapo nje. You're mad. You're mad. However, if you keep it like a baby girl, you'll find the head of an antelope. There's nothing I want to do for you in that house.
You'll even go hunting.
I'll go hunting and gathering. Me, all girls want baby girl lifestyle. There was a post I actually saw on Facebook. Shout out to Damaris Muga. She's one of my favorite people on Facebook. She was, there's someone that commented on her post that said, these young men nowadays want submissive providers. I found that shit very funny.
I think I saw it. Submissive. Ilitembea.
Submissive providers. Because kitambo, wanasemanga ati, ati they don't want to be like their mothers, they want to drink like their fathers. But then you ask yourself, your fathers were providing everything in that house. Like your mom didn't even know how much meat cost at the butchery. Because traditionally the father of the house that is good to the butchery ndio arudi. Like literally bringing home the bacon. Literally bringing home the bacon. That lady didn't know how much the electricity bill was. It was none of her business. It was paid by her husband. So when the man comes and says, I'm the head of this house, he's the head of the house. Because everything, the lights are on because of him. The kids are in school because of him. Their uniform has... That lady's dresses and her braids, uto to lines, to the lines that our mother used to be shukwad back in the day. It's him. Paka lotion. So when the man comes and says, in my house, chokweli ni kwake. And that's why that submissiveness came naturally. Lakini someone wants you to share everything 50-50. Then says, why would you submit? Submit.
Bro. So the only submission ni mkinyongwa. Submit.
That's one for your wrestling. 1, 2.
Then eventually unakubali. Okay. But it's a very don't you feel like it's a very interesting time to live?
It is.
Why? Because the modern woman is educated. The modern man
is also educated.
is educated but was raised in an old-fashioned way. So now sasa kuna hiyo intersection modern and the past.
I honestly feel, and now this is where my feminism is going to come in. I think the patriarchy, and people need to stop thinking that when you mention the patriarchy, we're talking about men. Because some of the most stringent upholders of the patriarchy are women, not even men. But the disservice that the patriarchy has done men is keeping you guys in this mindset of tradition. But on this other side, women have really progressed. But then you're stuck in 1963 at independence. Sisi tuko now in Ruto's presidency. You guys are still talking about Jomo Kenyatta and how life used to be there. And so that the disservice that the patriarchy has done is, number one, leaving all the mentorship of children to women. And a woman cannot mentor a boy the way a man should. But men, because that was how traditionally, because the man is not home, he has to go and work to provide for all these people. Right? So there's no time for him to come and sit down with his sons. The childcare was left up to women, sindio. But then now things have changed. So now these roles, well, what people want is for them to be done 50-50.
Yeah.
So now these older men have dropped the ball when it comes to mentoring younger men. Teaching them, life has changed. This is how you deal with these new fashioned women. That's where the ball has been dropped. And that's why you're seeing young men struggling to figure out how life is going to continue with these women who are nothing like their mothers.
Yeah.
That is the disservice, I feel like. I feel like mentorship, as we were mentored, I'm not going to let you, there's a lot of mentorship. But how many times did your uncles come and talk to you how to be a man, how to do certain things, how to, that's what we were taught.
Yeah, how to be a lady.
Yeah, but you're just told that by virtue of having a penis, the world is yours. But okay, you've been given the world, but you're not taught how to deal with it and how it's evolving and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's where the disconnect and what you mentioned, the intersection. So it's happening, and that's why we see all these gender wars. You see, one of the reasons I stopped fighting is I can't fight someone whose mind is already made up.
Yeah.
So I chose to mind my business and moisturize.
Yeah.
And drink my water.
But I feel like the modern man spends more time with his kids than, or at least the modern urban man.
Yeah. And you see, we're starting to see that change. But for you guys, guys starting from the age of 20 upwards, while your father is sitting down and...
No. Me Buddha, I always give the, I don't know.
Give him his flowers.
Yeah, no, I always say like Buddha alikuwa old school in his way, but you see, my dad died when I was 16.
Yeah,
so it's like he never saw the man I became. But now as a kid, ilikuwaga msewa akikuwa kwa haoni karibia remote iko like Buddha was the serious.
That old school men where like when your dad comes home, all of you scatter like cockroaches.
So Buddha si akiwa sober, we'd scatter. When he was drunk, he was like now a dad. Like we'd chill, he'd make jokes, he was funny, he was...
That's interesting.
But
it's usually the other way around.
Buddha,
sikusikia sijaisikia hiyo.
Yeah. See, Buddha akiwa
when
drunk,
he was mellow,
yeah,
he was less melodramatic.
Maybe your dad was a stoner.
The funny thing that I learned during that time was... No, he was not.
Mellow is...
No, he was not. But ilifanya nika notice, like when you smoke and you're drunk, you get more drunk. I learned that from my dad. Because now he'd come home drunk and he'd be like this fun guy, and then washafegi. Because remember that was before to do a second-hand smoke. So he'd just smoke in the house. And he'd just get more drunk, and then he'd pass out. And then the next day, because he used to struggle with alcoholism. So we never had that, like when he's sober, like we sit down and what. So I don't... Do I feel like men were mentored? I don't feel that generation was mentored.
How about you? What was your relationship like with your dad?
His dad is still alive, so they're cool, they're tight.
But it wasn't like, sit down talk.
Yeah.
It was more of, I would say, method acting.
You mirror what you see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't use much words like, I'm here at this time.
I see what you're saying.
Where were you?
Naona venye unasema.
Yes. Ukitumwa school fees, you go to your dad. Okay. He's available.
So
him being available, I think...
But also that's a good thing because, again, he's mirroring for you good behavior.
I would say...
But then also, I think the conversations of how do you deal with women?
I don't think... So, mimi sasa,
of course,
opinion yangu inakuwaga, there's nothing that my dad could have taught me about
to
women.
Prepare you.
The same way, utani correct, but I don't think there's anything your mom can teach you about men. It's such a different world.
No. Her generation was completely different. If I took into account some of her... she's given me some really good advice, I have to say. But also there's some things that if she tells me I do, I'm like, are you mad? Absolutely not. But there's some advice that she gave me that when I was younger, it was in one ear and out the other. But now that I'm older and I'm in a very committed relationship, one of the things she taught me is, that thing that for like when you're going to ask your dad for something and madhako nakusha hapana si saizi ngoja tu kwanza. that thing for you have to read this man's mood.
Yeah.
And then also picking your battles. Not every time. You know, when you live with someone, lazima akuirritate. Lazima akuudhi. And especially like if you're in each other's space all the time, if you get to a point where you find his socks on the floor and you feel like you can commit a murder. You're like, today this man will die in this house. In fact, I'll burn this house with all of us in it.
Yeah.
Because now there's life. Umetoka kuchapwa stress na maisha huko nje, and you come in and you find the man's socks. Or like, and let me ask you, why do you men do this? It annoys me.
Tuko tunafaa kuishi kwa jungle.
The washing basket ya nguo chafu iko hapa. Unapata socks nizo hizi. Next. Why?
Just appreciate effort.
Umezikaribisha. Close.
Yeah.
So I keep cheering you on, and one day they'll enter the basket. So my mom has given me that thing of, it's not every time. You don't fight over small things. Choose your battles. And then when you want something, don't ask directly. You mellow him, you make him the things he likes, you bust it wide open for him a couple of times. Before you know it, there's a title deed. Yeah. So when I was like, man, some bullshit. And of course I wouldn't do it the same way because, but I see the wisdom. Our mothers were the queens of soft diplomacy.
Yeah.
They knew how to get what they wanted. When you ask, if you sat down and ask your dad who actually runs that house, head of the house, but the decisions mwenye kusema ni mamako. Ask yourself.
I think nishaisikega nikiwa around mtoi nikiambia like this is your mom's house. Yeah. Like mwambiaga hivyo because there are things where I'm tolerated ikikam to electronics, like the wires are everywhere. I get like those lectures of so
but, I also don't know kama ushaisikia maybe wasapiro wakisema like mliwelkamiwa unajua ukusi kwangu mwenyewe huku maybe they're referring mweneko kweko.
Oh yeah, my dad used to say this all the time.
Referring to
my mother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mwenye nyumba ako wapi? Yeah.
But so ulikuwa pia una understand because my way of saying like I cannot take advice from my dad, it's a very shallow way of looking at it. And my shallow way is when my dad was in his 20s, the only way to meet a girl was to meet her physically.
Oh, those
time yetu you can be talking to 5 women at the same time.
Our generation is the one that really brought the chaos of men to the forefront.
Yeah.
Because before, the only way you could call someone, you can't even use the phone at home because imefungwa kufuli, the padlock. You have to go outside to the call box. You can't be there calling at 17. There are not enough hours in the day for that activity. Ni sasa uko Facebook, you have windows open. I'm a Tinder.
Yeah.
You know.
Just swiping.
Nili hata Tinder.
Damn it. No, you're not missing much. It's very chaotic. I was on Tinder for 3 months. I cannot do it.
Doing what?
I actually went on a date with a very handsome man who's from Burkina Faso. You don't think Burkina Faso is a real country.
Yeah.
Alafu nipatane. Hey, he was handsome. Woo! I was like, I thought I was being catfished when I saw his photo until I saw him in person. And it turns out he was married.
But see, mi niko nafikia Tinder watu vile yeye anasema mnatida hauju ya sex.
No, it's for sex. And then people are so shameless. Unaweza na mtu profile picture yake ya Tinder is his wedding photo.
Yes, anakuambia tu.
People are mad.
Anakuambia tu.
The only thing you'll get is the D, not the ring.
Not commitment.
Yeah,
but there are girls out here on these apps that are really trying to find husbands on Tinder. I find it very sad.
That's nini.
Like, girl, get your dick and move on.
Yeah.
Ukitaka husband enda kanisa. But even the churchmen, even the most chaotic.
Lakini nashindagwa.
Are you still an atheist? Yes.
Yes, I'm still.
Very much.
Yeah.
You know, he's very chaotic.
My atheism will never go anywhere. Until Yesu atokea nione ndio huyo.
Like, stop, motherfucker. Bitch, you thought.
But for me, for good husbands, sana musema the ones that actually drink and they are less churchy.
Yeah, the ones for church. I think you should have someone, a churchy person, because you have destroyed your couch.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Hiyo utokana ninarudi.
Yeah, but wase wa kanisa, the things that shocks women is unaingianga hiyo situation ukiexpect mtu a behave a certain way. Alafu anakushock, you're like, wow, this is where the devil is. The devil is in this church. Wow. Yani kudanganywa, is not sleeping with half the choir. And it's only half because the other half are his mother's age. And even then maybe he would try. Wase wa church. Madness.
I feel I always joke about joke to your phrase like ati nakoga the phrase nakoga a family that prays together stays together. Because me and my wife says it in our 10th year pamoja we never pray together, we never
not once.
Yeah, so I always joke about it.
Yeah,
but Ashanipatia, like one of the funniest stories Ashanipatia, it was a funny and sad, was there's a friend of their mom's. I met this guy in church, and this guy was like, mimi ni bikra nataka kukuoa. The guy himself, I don't know if men are supposed to use bikra, but he used bikra.
I thought bikra is a very virgin like, but I thought it had really feminine connotations.
But okay, so
but me don't know, me didn't get an A in Kiswahili.
Yeah, so that was the story. Like the guy said he's a virgin, si mpaka akafanya wedding wakafanya nini because the girl had more money than the guy. So she was building a house. As soon as the house iliisha, walua Obusuma walitokea, like he had grown up sons and they just moved in and they took over, and before ajue walkona they had to squeeze in their room. And
wait a minute, nothing. So this person who's saying he's a virgin, how old was he?
He was in, I think maybe his 40s something.
Now you see, that's some clown shit right there. Because how are you, as a grown-ass woman,
believing
a 40-year-old man is a virgin?
Because he loves the Lord Jesus Christ.
Who has the audacity to approach you?
Bruh, because a 40-year-old virgin is probably in a cave, like, oh my God, what is a woman? But a man that has confidence, hi, I'm a 40-year-old virgin. What's up? No! Nah, fam. So then now his rugby player children...
walitokea tuko how and they took over. I think that the last time I heard that story, I think she even left the house for them because there's nothing she could do
because are you even eating in that house first? Hey, wanaume wenye misuli tinginya na miraba mine. What are you eating in that house?
Yo nila crazy kenama.
I love that boy. Crazy Kenai.
He's good. He's really good.
He's brilliant.
I think the one thing saizi tuko afraid kusema tukidigress kidogo is he's doing some of his best work after a separate
when with his crew.
Yeah, because like right now he's done 2 jokes that have really trended.
Was it the one for the civil servant alikuwa pia na boxer ya NHIF that finish me?
Yota tuliongea juu yake hiyo ngodha ya NHIF. Alafu sasa ingi moja amedu ya Google Maps, umeona? Kuna nyingine
ushago he ends up in a river. That was mad funny. Turn
so
left, turn right, your destination is on the right. That's them uko in the national park.
Jipato mene inda nini. So from the outside looking in, what feel nini ukiona creatives wame separate?
I don't know. I think people have their reasons. It's like the same way, like if you were to ask me from the outside looking in, what would I say to kuona marriages may break up?
Yeah.
You know, because I think every case is different. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what made them come together in the first place. What if they had contracts, what those contracts looked like. I do know that Kenna had taken a small break for his mental health. Yeah. And he's come back swinging. So I guess I don't think I think it would be premature for me niseme ati ni juu ame break up na wale wase wengine. That's why now he's doing his best work. Maybe because he went and got therapy and took a break and now he's come back and he's at 100. I don't know. At the end of the day, I really hope whatever happened, everyone is is happy. I'm a very clumsy person.
No, it's okay.
I hope everyone is happy. That's all I can say. I hope everyone is happy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also I'll give him his props. Juu aki come up, haku come up peke yake.
Yeah.
waliomoka wote.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, hiyo nini him doing his best work hiyo ni just my judgment. I feel like the past few jokes zile amefanya I'm like damn this guy is like he's nika kila mtu alikuwa
NHIF ilinimaliza mimi.
yeah NHIF that was alafu even the amount of
the preparation that goes into
like kumove that thing ya Kenya Airways kwa bafu. I was like
where did he get a wreckage from?
Because that was a wreckage,
yeah.
And how do you transport it? Each time you have to think of everything.
Where did he get bed sheets from Kenyatta Hospital from? Ama he printed all that stuff.
That's what I've been thinking. Maybe he printed, which still like the budget.
Yeah, he really like money and time and thought goes into. And that's why like even to go back to what we were talking about earlier, when people come into an industry that are not passionate about the industry, hawajui venye ina work. So wanadhaningi ni mchezo. And if you were to sit down and watch kina Kena's content, or even kina Njugush, kina Butita, these are people I've worked with previously. Like I've never met Kena, but the other people I've mentioned, kina Njugush, Butita, all these other guys, Abel Mutua, are people I consider friends. If you look into how much work it goes into a single reel, si mchezo, si ati unaweka kamera kwa tripod ama kwa ring light alafu unaanza tu kuongea. Haendangi hivyo. So I love that like Kena is actually showing the fact that a lot of time, intellectual labor, money, goes into create e-content yenye utawatch in 1 minute to check alafu you move on. Yeah, he's really good at it. Alafu pia industry imegrow. Alafu do you feel like story ya gatekeeping sasa imeisha kabisa? Kwanza with Powerform. Pro Max.
Iko bado?
Yeah, they're still gatekeepers.
Yeah.
They're still mad gatekeepers. And it's like on the end of where you make money. Like kwa sewa agency, utapata like kuna deal fulani inaiva. Like karibu kuiva, next thing you know, imedai tu hivyo.
Okay. Yeah.
Na ujui ni nini. You don't know what has happened. Ama unazungushwa in circles 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Unaambiwa the same story. So and so hayuko, tunangoja sijui, the budgets have not been approved. But ukiangalia tu vizuri critically unaona ni gatekeeping. That one will never go away. Sijui mbona Wakenya wengine wanakuanga na roho chafu kama nyumba ya mchawi, sijui. I don't know why.
So lazima sana najua ulisema you are feminist, but lazima I have to ask you about the one person who I feel like has been able to surpass gatekeepers and reach very high heights. So ulionaje beef ya Sonko na Andrew Kibe? Paul, I had to ask you, but that's the one guy who even as a gatekeeper here they are like, please talk to me. That guy does not talk to anyone, and I personally respect that a lot. I mean, I don't respect other things, but
okay, I'm going to say this
for
everybody. I don't know, and this is why.
Yeah,
I'm only going to mention this person's name once and never again.
Yeah,
I don't talk about Andrew Kibe.
Yeah,
he's not a factor in my life. I don't care about him. The end.
Oh, okay. Let's talk hypothetically. So there was this guy who said that people like Sonko have a lot of power, and with this power they can do more than wearing designer clothes and such. They can change people's lives by building more industries, building what.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yes. Then afterwards Sonko akareply, unauza matako America. Okay.
Guy.
Yeah, so
no, wacha nikwambie shida ya Sonko. Sonko is not the person you send a message. You don't I don't think you should be in Sonko's life.
Yeah.
If you don't want your deepest, darkest secrets or utaki utukanwe, because one thing I've noticed about our former governor is he was born shameless. The shame that holds us, where unataka kuongea vibaya alafu nasema hey hapana, let me not. He doesn't have that filter, and that's what he has in common with that other hypothetical person.
Yeah.
So when you see two similar people having an argument, you just watch it like entertainment and you move.
Okay. Mi nilikuwa nafikia at least hiyo ulifuatilia, but
sifuatiliangi hiyo mtu.
Ukiingilia kwa the podcast world unaonja lazima uanze kufuatilia vitu utaki kufuatilia.
No, there are people I'll follow, like I watch even though I fundamentally disagree with them.
Yeah.
Someone like Jordan Peterson, for instance.
Yeah, he has some good
very
points.
frequently wrong, but she also has good points. Even, and I'm sure you'll fall off the couch hearing this.
Yeah.
There are times that Kevin Samuel would say things, and I'm like,
yeah, okay. I'm
even
surprised.
though-
Actually surprised. Yeah.
although like 99.9% of the time he was up to some fuck shit, but once in a while he'd say some really profound things that would leave you thinking. So in that sense, like even like the podcast bros, the ones who wase wa red pill movement nini guys wase kama fresh fit. So you watch kina fresh fit?
I don't cause fresh fit nilikuwaga na shida nayo because I felt like they used to bring the girls just to embarrass them.
And it's very unintelligent.
Yeah. I feel like that's bullshit.
That was the difference between them and someone like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, you could tell that man had a brain in his head, but all these other imitations. I'm not saying that I agree with. Again, Kevin Samuels was very dangerous. He's a dangerous man, but he was not an idiot.
Yeah, okay. See where looks will get you. Because nilionaga kwa comments zake someone was like, he's so gorgeous, but he talks a lot of...
I have never found that man attractive.
Yeah, okay. So I'm surprised. So what did he ever say that you felt like...
No, there are things that he'd say, especially to men, like you can't expect certain things if you're not also bringing certain... This famous table, like what are you bringing to the table? Even you, what are you bringing to this table?
Yeah.
know, because there's some things he'd say, he'd also call out women sometimes, and I'm like, okay. But then now when you see, like, this person whose name I shall never mention again, you, on the rare occasion that some sense is spoken, it's so hard to find it through the thicket of profanity, obscenity, just nonsense. So I'm not even inspired to sit through the flood of nonsense. So on the off chance that he might speak some sense, I got other things to do.
Yeah.
Please, I'm busy. I can be moisturizing my skin.
Wow. To go back to Kevin Samuels, like one of the most now profound things ashaisema for men on my side ilikuwa, and I think Ian has heard me say this a lot of times, you cannot be broke and proud. You cannot be broke. And that one, I think he was talking to men. You cannot be broke and proud. So he was talking specifically to American men, and Ambia, like, if you have to work on that garbage truck just to be able to pay your bills, do it. You can't be broke and proud, because
you can't be like, me siwezi fanya hiyo job. It's like, that makes sense. Because like even me, even given the brand that I've built, nikijipata mahali, I will sell potatoes. And of course it has to be potatoes, because
Waru,
cash crop.
Waru is life. Potatoes are proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. Anyway, but that's and that's not just men, it's for everybody. You can't be proud and broke. Mi hiyo kazi siwezi fanya. Okay, then what are you going to eat? Once in a while, and that's the difference between Kevin Samuels and Fresh Fit. Fresh Fit will bring a woman onto their podcast, and then they terrorize her until you're like, wow. So even that's why you're saying that you want to be in the podcast. There are things that I watch. Then I'll watch with this expression on my face the whole time for 1 hour. But I'll watch them because it's good to know what people... Okay. But that person, I won't watch him because I feel that there's just no value that is added.
But I feel like Nani was harsher on women than him, Kevin Samuels. Because Kevin alikuwaga hapo anakuuliza, how heavy are you? How tall are you? Then and hang up. Like he was disrespectful.
No, he was disrespectful as fuck. That's why I'm saying there's no universe that exists in which I will endorse Kevin Samuels. Like now me, I'm a woman in my 40s, right? Like if he was to find my partner, he would ask him, what are you doing this woman mwenye amegonga ukuta? You know that red pill ideology of a woman past a certain age has hit the wall, and this person is being a white knight saving her from a fate of dying alone with her cats, which by the way, a house with cats and no one disturbing me, it's not the threat you think it is.
Okay. Because I had an opportunity to kuenjoy na si kuenjoy. You know, like the way we are saying that potatoes are proof that God
loves us.
God loves us.
Do you have potatoes in your kitchen, by the way? Is there a small crisp?
So now, you know how Lu was referred to Kikuiza? like our derogatory term
Tell me.
inakwaga jorabuon.
Rabuon I know is a potato.
Yeah, so jorabuon inakwaga watu wa
The
Waru.
potato people.
Yeah, the potato people. So aja vile
It's not a
umeagree na
bad
hiyo.
thing. Si kitu
Si
mbaya.
ninakwambia. Vile umeagree na hiyo, niko like so even like let's say some Alu was listening to that and he was like and suppose aseme neno nyarabuon like the girl from the potato girl. You see. So that was really
Me, I would never take it as I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. In fact, let me go and get out a Bowser and a sack of potatoes and boil them in 50 liters of water.
Yeah. So you ilikuwa like
Kikuyus, we don't die of thirst. We die of other things. Soup.
Mnao waganga nini? Yeah, that's the most interesting thing about like dating a Kikuyu woman. Inakuwaga like the first time they cook for you, you are nervous as hell.
You're like, oh my god.
Hey, cause hiyo chakula ikikuja itabidi tu pretend tu yani.
Lovely.
No, by the way,
Hapo stereotype wako kweli. Wengi wenye mwezi pika. You can't cook to save your
throw
lives.
down.
Yeah.
I'm a fantastic cook.
Yeah.
Ask
but most
my
of you
Luo
cannot.
man.
Most of you cannot.
And he doesn't know how to lie at a poker face hana. So if it was a bad cook, I know.
Yeah, ungeshajua ni kubaya.
He tell me, no babe, let me cook. Let me do it.
Yeah.
No, but I know a lot of very many cute babes who can't really cook. Lakini kama nilelewa ushago, it means alipitia training fulani.
Yeah.
Because as for our tradition, we ate for survival. It's what we don't
sustenance.
Die. Yeah. What that is spices.
And we also needed to work in the farms.
Yeah, we are needed. You know, us tulikuwa
Kwani
tunazaliwa
huko kwingine watu wako na wako farms. Yeah.
Sisi tulikuwa tunazaliwa juu ya because provision of labor.
Yeah.
They didn't. It wasn't out of love. They need people.
Yeah.
To work.
When settlers walikuwa area gani? Like who brought the warus here? You know why it's called waru kwanza?
Why?
No?
See, so kisikia wakikuwa kwa hizo plantation.
Karibu kutambia fake news.
No, just say.
Or they're being asked where are you?
No, it's good fake news.
Yeah.
So Safra alikuwa they brought these plants then the kawaifa na muza. So mashina mkidu vitu zingine hapo tuna plant waru maha one here one there that's what the instruction.
One here one there.
One here one there, so they were just saying waru hari.
Oh.
So it's a mispronunciation.
It's not it still doesn't track. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
No,
You believe it's always been there.
I know.
It's
We
an
know
Irish
they're called
potato.
Irish potatoes for a reason.
Yes.
Also they came from Ireland.
I don't think they're indigenous to us, but I'm so glad they're here. I'm so thank you.
Me funny enough the one food I'm glad hata sijui ilitoka wapi ni beans. Mupendaga beans design which is not and the way beans destroy your posterior. I still love beans.
How do you like your beans? Do you like a curry with like coconut?
I think curry. More thick soup with with rice with a chapo. Yeah, rice chapo. Yeah. Beans can go
chapo dondo.
Yeah, chapo dondo of course.
Yeah. Have you ever had a good Kikuyu githeri?
Yeah. That's the one food musemaga. Like cukes, we can't mess with.
Have you even
two
had
things,
they have pronounced it?
Githeri. Yeah. Hapo vitu mbili zile Kikuyu imetuachia ni githeri na nyama choma. Those two waga nikisikia tu who's the cook Jaraga niko like
nyama.
Lakini ukiniambia stew kuku hapo niko na
kuku si ni tuuze kuku
yeah. Hata nyama ya stew amjuagi
no because chumvi ni spice na roiko pia ni spice. Hatujuangi mambo ya spices. Tukienda sana ni black pepper.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's black pepper umeomoka ba. I've never seen black pepper kwetu. Meza kuona majuzi. Yeah.
Black pepper na nini? Chumvi tu na roiko.
Roiko.
Na cubes.
Yeah.
Roiko cubes.
Roiko. Na nyanya.
Na curry powder. The curry powder that has never rebranded. Never seen an advertisement for that curry powder.
And it's still popular.
And it's still selling.
It's like a drug.
Hey. It's like crack.
Na feel kama kitambo was Royco more popular than it is right now? Like I remember back in the days sisi ilikuwaga kulikuwa na ile zile zikosa za beef cubes.
Royco cubes.
There was a Royco beef cubes.
Mas kwa Nor.
Nor came later. But it was always Royco. I think uko kitambo because hatukuanga na spices and Royco was the one that used to make your stew thicken a bit. But then now watu wameomoka, there are many ways to skin that cat. So
that's why it's not as
like do you guys have Royco in your kitchen now?
I think there is Iko. Lakini see not the cubes, not just the
one
Royco.
In the tin.
Curry powder I think pia iko.
Curry powder yangu nilinunua when I moved in. I've used it once. It's just I think even it's gone, but it gone
with a big tin.
Yeah, because my pantry is just full of spices. Because I love to cook. I love to marinate meat. I'll make you a nice fish. I'll do a nice chicken. This past weekend I made a chicken kienyeji.
Okay.
For Mr. and his mom and his sister, they loved it.
But Nyarabon is represented.
Well, I'm proud.
Alafu the funny thing is Nyarabon is doing traditional female roles.
But here's the thing about feminism. Feminism is about choice. It's giving women choices, not pigeonhole at you have to. That's the one thing that feminists like rebel against. Because you are born with certain genitalia, from now until the end of your life, this is a role that is assigned for you. That is what feminists don't like. We're all about choice. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and a traditional wife, honey, do you, as long as it's your choice. If you want to have 30 children, as long as you're healthy and you're taking your supplements, do what you need to do. If you want to not have children at all, congratulations, sis, do you. Feminism is all about choice. If you want to not pursue a career and focus on raising a family, do you. That's basically how I describe feminism for me. Feminism is all about choice. But if you tell me because you're a woman, you have to, that's where now we start fighting. I'm like, says who? Says who?
Roll up your
I
sleeves.
roll up my sleeves and we go to war, especially seeing as I'm from Nyeri.
Kuna time mulikuwa na reputation
at some point kwa nilisha.
I think saizi imeisha. It's been long since nione kabuda kametokea. Nilisikia tu nimejipata kwa hospitali.
Niliamuka.
Hata kulikuwa kushanza kwa na correspondence.
Anyeri correspondent.
Sana NTV ilikuwa gana hizo stuff na KTN. There used to be news from Nyeri every day.
It was always Nyeri man and Bungoma man. It was on two ends of the country wondering what was going on.
Alafu to feed the stereotype nakumbuka Emilio, tell them Emilio.
Tell them I have only one wife and her name is Lucy.
But
I know funny enough Lucy is not from Nyeri. Kibaki is the one who was from Nyeri.
Lucy
is not from Nyeri.
Then how did that story just spread even?
So just married in Nyeri. Was Lucy? Ask. You check.
Check Lucy.
Check where Lucy is not a Nyeri. It's the one Waboy. Waboy is the one from
Lucy alikuwa nene. Alafu nene. If there is another term that the days you used to post on Facebook. Another term that you made me ni learn yake. I think I learned this from you. Was that phrase character development? You know?
Kwanza nyinyi wajaka. My God.
Yes, you know kitu. I think ulipatianaga hiyo story. So nazataka wacha tukuulize juu story tena. So what had happened, I remember it was a graduation story.
So I was dating someone.